We've reviewed and checked out the Super Console X, but did you know they're coming with a stick edition? It's time for a message from the future! Hi guys, welcome back to the channel. It's awesome that you're tuning in. So in this video we are going to take a close look at a Super Console X stick. I was thinking, hey, why didn't they release a stick back at the day? Because they only released the Super Console X and of course now the Pro is announced. But in this video we're just going to do a chit chat, what can we expect with this product and what were my experience with the previous models. Okay guys, so the next generation of, let's say, naughty products from China will come, simply because now we're going to get sticks that you can plug and play in your HDMI, like the previous product I've reviewed here on the channel, like the 4K game stick. But this 4K game stick was very flawed, and I'm guessing with the Super Console X stick it's going to be similar like the previous model. And what I mean with previous model, we're going to get Emulator. But okay, so let's go to the product page and let's take a close look at that and let's see what we're going to get and compare this with the 4K game stick. Okay guys, so let's take a close look at the product page from the Retro Games Naughty store. So we have beginning with the 64GB edition for $88.99, we're having the 128GB and we're having the 256GB. That is costing a $124, yes, I'm going to round it up, $124. Quite a lot of money. And what you're going to get is just the two shitty controllers like always. We're going to get this plug and play Android stick that they modified with Emulator. We're also going to get an extra remote and two SD cards. And the reason why we're going to get two SD cards is very simple. When we're scrolling down a little bit, you can see that when they are having a lot of advertisement or more naughty stuff, we are saying here 50 plus emulators, so I'm guessing the Super Console X stick will be the same like the Pro and the normal edition. We're having a support of PSP and DC, but I can say both of the PlayStation Portable and Dreamcast will not run perfectly. That's just a fact, they are just being extra naughty because you're not telling the truth. It's a freaking lie. Okay, so we're having here the multi-language system, okay. And then we're having, of course, the all-in-one Emulator Android system all-in-one. And this is what I mean with the two SD cards. With the two SD cards, what you're going to get is basically we can have the Android 6.1. So it's running on quite an older Android system. And we can use it like an Android box, or in this case an Android stick. But you can use it with the different cards. Just plug it in and use the other SD card with Emulator 3.9. And you did take consideration there will not be an official release. They are basically ripping off the software and modifying it, and not always with a very good result. But that is something we need to see in the future. At least they call this thing the HDMI output of HD. This is really saying, okay, this is in 1080p or 720p. Is it now? It's confusing, don't you think? Why is it now 1080p or is it 720p? We will see in the full review. But we're going to get the two controllers, plug and play idea, like the 4K stick. So it comes with the upgraded S905X chip. Basically, this is the same, almost the same chip like in the normal version. The previous version has the S905M chip. If you're looking at it, it's not a super powerful chip, it's quite old, and again it will run up to PlayStation 1, but that's it. So what is an interesting option, they claim that you can play with 4 players. You will need to use the shitty USB hub. I really hate those very horrible USB hubs. It was USB 2.0 if I'm saying it correctly. But in the end, when you're looking at this, it is possible to play with 4 players. Okay, that is great, but you need to reconfigure all the controllers with this hub itself. So when it comes to the packaging itself, what you're going to get, this is what you're going to get. It's all the same when you're having a Super Console X or a Game Stick or the Game Stick 4K. It's going to be all or more of the same. So I'm very curious how this is going to run in the end. Okay, let's do a quick look at the Super Console X that I've reviewed here on the channel. How is it with the games? So when you're having the, let's say, two-dimensional stuff, the main stuff, it runs just fine. And you can really enjoy those. But when you're having more like the later on systems, and I'm talking about the Sega Dreamcast, the PlayStation Portable, these systems are basically more of the time unplayable. But even with the S905M chip, PlayStation 1 did run very well. I do like what you're going to get the borders, like with the Raspberry Pi. You can turn them off if you don't like them. You can put them on different aspect ratios. The games run very well. But there is one thing, it doesn't run in higher resolution, because if you're looking at some systems with a Dream emulator, they're by the way not using, they're using most of the time the Dreamcast, you can put them on higher resolutions like in full HD and it looks very nice. But with these boxes, we're not able to use these. So most of the time what you're going to get is just the original native resolution. So a quick example with PSP, I did notice with two-dimensional games that even those games run pretty horrible. And some of them are, let's say, with the FPS good enough to play and enjoy, but when you're looking at the glitches and other stuff, it's just a freaking nightmare. The N64 is always more like a problem when it comes with different emulators or systems, and this, with the S905X chipset it will be nothing different than with the Raspberry Pi, and you will see that a lot of games will not run fine. And we have a lot of glitches, stuttering, and some games are just not even booting up. With the launch titles of the N64 it will not be a problem, but it will be a handful that will work, and not GoldenEye of course. But GoldenEye is so demanding that most of these single board computers and single board sticks cannot even run them. But don't get me wrong, there will be some Sega Dreamcast games that run on the 60 FPS or just almost hitting it, so you can enjoy them. But they will always be glitching out due of the Mali GPU that's inside of these boxes and sticks. So will this 90 Super Console X stick be better than the 4K game stick? Oh hell yeah, and there will be many ways it will be better. Not only the menu is way better with Emulator, but also the support of the games. The menu of the 4K game stick was pretty hideous. It looked like a deformed Pandora box menu. It did have more like a search option and a class option, but I can tell you it was freaking horrible and it was really choppy, and I was not satisfied with the option menu. I'd rather have a Pandora box 5 than having a choppy menu like this. And with the Emulator stuff, it looked very nice and very fancy, and we're having way more options because the game stick 4K was completely locked out. Yeah, we could search for some games that did work fine in some way, but it was not very optimal in my opinion. But if you want to enjoy some 8-bit, 16-bit games on the 4K game stick, it was a possibility. But again, the device itself was very underpowered and a lot of stuff didn't run that great. So I'm hoping with the Super Console X stick this will be solved in combination with the Emulator. So in the end, the Super Console X stick will be more similar like the Super Console X that I've reviewed here on the channel. So yeah, let me know in the comments what do you think of this, what do you think of this stick idea. I want to thank you for watching, consider subscribing, hit the little bell, become one of the Wicked family and give this video a like, and I will see you in the next video.